All members of Bunge la Wananchi. Yes, mine is to take this chance to thank you very sincerely for this very important event we are having. You do not know just where this will take us. Jesus began to spread the gospel with 12 people. So don't even worry about how many we start. 12 people. Now we have the largest religion in the world in the name of Christianity that began just with Jesus Christ. I'm sure you are aware how that has been. Now we know about him and he is very far off. So what about Kenya, which is just around 585,000 kilometers square? And this is a very, very important thing you've done. So mine is to, first of all, thank you very much as Bunge la Wananchi and tell you most sincerely that this country is in our hands. Don't even think that there's somebody who will come from somewhere else who will chat for you your journey. Do not even think someone cares. Do you know, if you don't care, then no one else cares. Or who cares about Kenya?
Nobody.
Is there anybody who cares about Kenya?
Nobody.
If you look at everything which is happening, look at the theft which is happening in this country. You know very well that as we speak now, Kenya has borrowed 1.9 trillion shillings. And they have collected a total of 3.9 trillion shillings. If you add that figure, we are talking about 5.8 trillion shillings. Do you see anything in Eldoret that looks like that money has been collected?
No.
Do you see any big infrastructure project ongoing? Is there any big road being constructed?
No.
Is there any project like SGR ongoing?
No.
Is there anything like expressway ongoing?
No.
So where is that money? So those are the questions we have to ask, and do not be afraid. Don't even think that you are weak or you're poor. The fact that you may not be having money in your pocket does not mean you are stupid. We might not have the money, but we have the brain to analyze and see this is the right way to go, this is the wrong way to go. And there's nothing personal. Linda Jamii, where we work, even Bunge la Wananchi, we are partisan to Constitution Kenya 2010. So anybody going against it, whether you are from which side of a political divide, you are not a friend. Or you are a friend to someone who is violating the Constitution.
No.
Secondly, we are partisan to professionalism. Anybody stealing money, is he a professional?
No.
Anybody who is not qualified and is using means to get things which they don't deserve. You hear about the issue of state capture, isn't it?
Yes.
Those are not professional, so we are not with them. But also we respect every human being. First, we respect you, your community. No one should ever talk against any other person because of their community difference. No one should ever talk against anybody because of their religious beliefs. And no one should ever mention anything that divides us. But the things that unite us is professionalism, rule of law, which is the Constitution 2010. But you can be any religion you want, but also you can come from any community. You'll belong to Bunge la Wananchi, and anything affecting you affects all of us. So what is my agenda? Because I think that's very important. I'm not just here to make noise, throw words here and there. Why are we even here today? And what is important is that whatever is happening at the moment, the economy is hurting everybody. If you walk from the south of Kenya to north of Kenya, east of Kenya to west of Kenya, there's one conversation. Where is the money? Who has that money? You understand? How can you take a child to school? How can you be able to put bread on the table? How can you pay for your healthcare bill? Are these not the main questions? No. So long as those questions are not being answered, we do not care about who is in the government. Are we together?
Yes.
So long as you cannot tell me we have solved the problem. They have said we have worked hard for you for 50 years. Now over 60 years. Have they answered the question? Ignorance, poverty, disease still remain our enemy number one. So whatever someone says, I've done this for you, they can't rap for you how they have. So we need liberation. And that's what I call Solomonic economic liberation. But we have tried all means and we find they are very hard. So I'm going to tell you the way forward, because we are not going to just talk here and leave. and why I've come to you and we are working with the bush. The first agenda we are going to do very soon, we are drafting a bill to go and put a petition so that we can force the government to set up a commission of inquiry on the so-called state capture. What is state capture? State capture is to use the state and the means of state for private gain. What are those issues? Anglo leasing was a state capture. You see that? If you go and count the money we lost, for example, what is happening in eCitizen, where you are being told to pay on eCitizen, is a state capture. Because that money is being used to buy MPs, that's why MPs cannot talk. You saw some of them were missing. How many members of parliament were missing in parliament that day? There were around 87 members of parliament refused to go to parliament because they didn't want to vote so that we know where they are voting. So parliament is the wrong parliament as we know it. So they cannot represent you. That's why Bunge la Wananchi should take over. So we want to draft a bill for state capture because those are serious issues. You look at the issues of the corruption, it's a state capture. You're using state money for what you like. The issue of housing levy is a state capture because you are taking money from people and you're pretending you're building houses. Have you seen how many people have gotten a job in Eldoret from house project? I've moved around. Do you know any relative? Do you know a brother? Do you know a sister? Do you know a neighbor who is working in the house site and earning money? So that's a state capture. Healthcare. They are telling us they are collecting money from people to give us free healthcare, but all we know is that they are taking our nurses to another country. So how can someone collect money to treat you, yet nurses are leaving the country? You are going to be treated by the money. The money cannot treat you. Can money look after you in a hospital? So that's another state capture. The projects of state capture are many and they are not ending. So that's why we want to ask a commission of inquiry to be able to come up with a commission that will inquire all this. I talked to some members. I can even tell you, President Uhuru Kenyatta is ready. President Uhuru Kenyatta is ready to appear before that commission to explain when was the state captured, isn't it? He'll explain to them and tell them actually who captured the state and used the state to win the election and now used it against Kenyans. You will hear all those things will happen. So that's the first thing. The second thing, which is most importantly, we are going to give a sovereign speech at Kaloleni Hall in Nairobi, which is the first parliament, and that is now under Bunge la Wananchi. The first parliament where the speech was given is Kaloleni. That is the first freedom speech ever given. We are going to give a speech there, and we are going to review Article 1 of the Constitution.